That'll do us for now. That'll do us for now, won't it? I'm definitely going to cut that and make a shirt out of it. That bit where that fat ugly orc there, that needs superimposing. That death, death, death. The men of the West running into a melee, and that thing being either Keir Starmer, Shabana Mahmood, or a big fat purple-haired creature, because this is what we're up against. That stirs the blood, that scene, doesn't it? Because this is what we're up against. Creatures of shadow. It really is that stark. Case in point, look at this fella, David Hennig. First of all, he's calling one of the most intelligent, go-getting, enigmatic philanthropist, world's richest man in the world, an idiot or a moron. Sorry, which is hilarious in and of itself. But what else is funny about it is that the creature thinks that apparently the real problem assailing us in the West these days is, well, it's people talking about violence being perpetuated against the inhabitants of the United Kingdom, which is a bit weird, isn't it? Because I don't think that's the big problem that we've got. I don't think that's the big issue. I don't think the major thing assailing us in the West these days is foreign billionaires talking about the fact that England used to be like the Shire and now it's not because it's been usurped by the powers of the shadow. That's the problem. That's the problem. And David Hennig, well, he's on the list. Again, I've got it. My list is longer than ET's phone bill. Right, he's going on it. Geggy Quisling. This is the point. How many times have I made this point here? Blokes like Elon talking, tweeting a little bit. That's not really the problem, is it? Nah. People like me making YouTube videos isn't really the problem. Tony Romo and Carl Benjamin having a chat in public, not a problem. You know what is a problem? You know what radicalises millions and millions of people? Events like the Southport massacre. That's what does it. When a single individual does that much harm to women and children and the community as a whole, you get more people radicalised by it than any 10,000 polite conversations. So this lunatic and every other MP parroting him doesn't seem to understand that talking doesn't really upset people. It's hard to motivate people into action with tweets or social media posts, but covering for murderers and kiddie fiddlers does spur people into action. So this contemptible dog, David Hennig, thinks that the real problem is talking. I'd suggest that the next Southport atrocity, and it's coming round the corner, it'll cause 100,000 more people to be radicalised than any 500 conversations. And if you don't know that, you don't know anything. Mr. Hennig's going to be in a spot of bother when people that are going to make me look overly polite seize power, and the public are going to let it happen because they're going to be so annoyed and so sick of seeing the butcher's bill from the last 25 years of inaction that things aren't going to go well for them. Hang on, let me just find this. I've even started slagging off my own people, the Royal Marines and the Royal Navy, because look at this. This pissed me off today. Where is it? I was having a pop it up today. And it's not their fault. They've got the duty to do. You can't just crack your own detail and ignore your orders, can you, when you're a soldier? But honestly, it does my head in, because the Royal Marines was sharing like a story today of them looking for. Here we are. Look, this one. 4-7 Commando Raiding Group, Royal Marines, put 361 years of Royal Marine spirit and ethos. Commando Boat Force. Commando Force boat operators are proud to play our part. Per mare, per terram. Look at all them boats full of blokes. What they're doing. That's what I said to them. I was like, hey lads, all them boats out in the channel. I went to Afghanistan and Iraq and Northern Ireland and Sierra Leone. Wait, what are you lads doing? You useless, lazy twats, get yourself down to Dover. Do some work. Do some fucking work, boys. It's unbelievable. And what was the other one that made me laugh? There was a Navy one that Rag sent me. Didn't send me a link. I didn't see it on Twitter, though. Let me have a look, see if I can find it. It was like oysters or some shit. I was like, what? Is this what we're worrying about? Yeah, look at this. Look at this. You couldn't make this shit up. I'll make it a bit bigger so you can see it. You couldn't make this shit up, right? Every single day, we're getting attacked. Every single day, foreign criminals and murderers and people trafficked diddle victims and ISIS and stone-cold killers are coming in at the Channel, at Dover, through Calais. And these blokes, the Royal Navy, oysters nurtured by the Royal Navy, have been released to help the species return to the Solent. The Bravo diving unit carefully placed them onto a dedicated reef in the River Hamble, where hopefully they'll settle and flourish. Do some work. Who gives a flying shite about oysters in 2025? Who? Look, good drills there, lads. What do you mean good drills, Dorset lads? Bizarre. Yeah, bizarre. Why aren't people giving them more shit in the chat? I'll do it. Let's have a look. 500 kiddie fiddlers, suicide bombers, and what else? The occasional janitor rocked up today while you useless twats were busy fucking about with oysters. Well done. Well done. That'll do. Well done, lads. Oysters. Who gives a monkey's fuck about oysters? I swear to God, if I could, I would eradicate every oyster off the fucking planet if I could get rid of 10 kiddie fiddlers from the United Kingdom. At this point, who cares? Who cares? And the Navy are bragging about it. We're helping the oysters. Well, you're not doing anything about the little kids getting fingered, though, are you? You wankers. Joe, you're lashing everyone up with memberships. Well done. Cheers, love. Thanks for that. It's unbelievable. Also, we can do another one off Twitter because the BBC, for a change, covered it. Where is it? Oh, look at that. Got a like already. We need janitors, don't we? It's unbelievable. That's got a lot. It's got a lot of traction. My fury is colossal. It is. My hatred, all consuming. They talk about hate. Ooh, you're spreading hate. Seeing those 3 little girls from Southport spread hate 1,000 million times more than anything someone like me or Paz says. We don't spread hate. If anything, we help keep people's blood pressure a few points lower. You guys are spreading hate. Spreading hate like fire. Because people who murder women and children are being welcomed into the country every day. I'll give you a clue. I'll give you an example. For example, right? Wayne Broadhurst there. Poor bastard's just been butchered like a wild animal. He's going to work at a depot with my first job when I left the Corps was bin man. First job I got about a week after I got out was driving because I have all my heavy goods licenses and I'm too proud to get on the rock and roll. So the first job I got was just as soon as I applied for it, they snapped me up. Bin man working for the council, driving a truck because it was shite money, but I needed a job. I think it wasn't terrible at the time. It was about £11 an hour because I had all my licenses. And there's a bunch of rough and tumble working class lads right there. Worked at a depot with loads of them. You can have that for nout. Hey, that's my catchphrase. Anyway, they're all working class lads, rough and tumble boys, bin men. And they work at a depot because every morning I used to walk to work. Lived in York. Used to walk to work. It was a great time in my life looking back. Being a bin man, I was happy. Not a care in the world. Country was still sane. This is about 2010 or whatever it was. And plenty of fresh air. I quite enjoyed it. Anyway, that's a rough and tumble job. You go to work at the depot first thing in the morning. And there's about 25 bin trucks. And 300 blokes to crew them. And basically, every single one, probably more than that if you think about the numbers, it's a lot of work collecting all the refuse for a city. Anyway, every single bloke in that depot is now, according to the government, far right. I mean, everyone's far right now, but they're definitely far right. Think about it. Every single person he ever worked with, I guarantee, is far right. You know who's far right as well? Every single person who goes to his funeral. Or what? Are you labouring under the delusion that this man who got butchered like an animal while he was defenceless on the floor, almost a pensioner, gets stabbed to death by a 20-something Afghan soldier imported on purpose by the state? He was a criminal the second he stepped foot in the country, and he went on to murder a man. And you don't think that every single person who worked with him knew him, talked to him in the pub, or goes to his funeral? You don't think every single one of them now sees the world my way? What about Southport? What about everyone connected to those little girls? You think they're going to be voting Lib Dems in the next election, do you? Because I've got news for you if you do. Terry Fuckwit could figure this one out. But it's apparently beyond Lambtron and that geggy android rent boy that sits in Downing Street. It's unbelievable. And you know what they'll say? I radicalise people because I make jokes on the internet. Okay, but you letting in murderers who kill babies and then everyone watches the footage on Twitter, they're not radicalising people. No, nobody gets radicalised when they see little girls get knifed in the face. No, jokes radicalise people. You know who's radicalising people? Andrew Lawrence, yeah. He makes jokes about politics, so he radicalises people. But the Prime Minister letting in kiddie fiddlers and baby killers, that doesn't radicalise people. No, when people kill babies and stab little girls to death, no one notices. They go, that's nice. And then they get on with the day. No, they don't. Kia, they don't. Oh, hang on, I used his name. They don't, Kia. Ha! Gay! Thank you, wise Asian gentleman, for your astute political observations. He should work for The Guardian, him, because he knows more about politics than anyone who works there. Oh yeah, is my sound actually alright tonight? I've been proper pissing about this for about an hour there, doing sound tests. I took all the gain off it because there was loads of background noise, and I think it's alright now. So if it's alright now, I can hopefully not touch it ever again. Oh, Ben's in. Alright, Ben. Go and follow Ben's channel if you haven't. I'm sure you lot are all well aware of him by now. He demands the royal family be more brown. I think, unfortunately, Ben, I like you, but I'm going to have to refuse to accede to your demands there. That's beyond me. I refuse to allow the Buckingham Palace to stand a moment longer if the king, the weasel that runs the country, doesn't do something about it. Sounds good. Airbrush is good too. I haven't got an airbrush on. At least I don't think I have. Let me check. No, that's my real face. Actually, you can play with the settings here and airbrush your face. Look at. I'll turn the airbrush on and you can laugh. Look how good this is if you enhance your appearance. There we go. That's with the airbrush on. Now I've got a rubber face. Look, you can't. It's just a blur. In fact, is it Is it AI, or do they just make your camera really shit round your head? Because that doesn't seem to... It doesn't seem like it really does much. It just makes the picture worse. No. Anyway, who cares? So, got rid of that. Definitely haven't got a rubber face. I definitely haven't got a balsa wood fanny like Cher. So anyway, yeah, the war is coming, ladies and gentlemen. This cannot carry on, I'm telling you. And all these people who say, no, it's not happening, you're being hyperbolic. To those people, I'll simply say this, right? When's it going to stop? I've been saying this to you lot for years. Loads of you have argued the toss with me about this. But when's it get better? If you don't think it's going to end in tears, when's it going to get better? Is 2026 going to be better than 2025? Do you think after Southport and Wayne Broadhurst, do you think that's it? Think about it. Like, it's an inevitability. Or to quote Kim Jong, it is inevitable. It is inevitable. It's inevitable. It's 100% inevitable. Because they don't do anything about it. Nothing. So the next Wayne Broadhurst is a week away. Or a month. The next Southport is a month or 6 or a year away. But it's coming. So there's going to be more and more and more. And there's going to be more in 2026 than there was in 2025. Because here's some well-hard maths for you. There's going to be more diddlers and suicide bombers and career criminals in the UK in 2026 than there was in 2025. And guess what? It's going to be even more of them in 2027. Yep, that's how this goes. So I've put this question to many, many people who've been in total denial for the last 5 years. When does it get better? Is there going to be more or less highly explosive kiddie fiddlers in the UK in 2026 than there was in 2025? It never ends. They're hoping that they can keep on this trajectory until like 2040, when there's enough Islamo communists and brain dead, wokey losers that you can't do anything about it. They're just playing the long game. They're just hoping that they can keep brushing the murders under the carpet. And you'll roll over and take it up the shitbox until it's too late to do anything about it. But the thing is, the people that they're importing won't play ball, will they? They're going to ruin the plan, because if they just kept quiet for like 15, 20 years, they'd get what they want. Unfortunately, they're not going to get what they want, because the jihadis aren't going to play the game, are they? They're going to keep killing, and their arms will never get tired. They'll just keep on butchering people, and they'll keep on hiding it. Now, look at this. James O'Baconface started. We have to talk about James O'Baconface, because he's opened his fat, portly, lumescent pink mouth again. Listen to James O'Baconface here.
The extraordinary nature of this country at the moment has been completely turned upside down. It was bad enough to start off with, given the dominance of right-wing media, but since Elon Musk bought Twitter, it has gone absolutely bonkers. If somebody is murdered or raped, if your first reaction isn't sympathy for the victim and their families and horror at the act that has been perpetrated, followed by, perfectly naturally, perfectly normally, anger at the perpetrator, there's something very, very wrong with you. If your reaction to a hideous crime, whether it is in Southport, Uxbridge or Wolverhampton, is to rub your hands with glee at the opportunity it provides for you to either spread lies or exaggerations and demonize and attack people who have absolutely nothing to do with those crimes, then there is something very, very wrong with you. And Elon Musk's great achievement since buying Twitter is to make those people feel normal.
What a load of absolute shite. So there you go, right? He thinks the reason you're angry is because Elon Musk tweets occasionally. Yeah, it's all his fault. It's all Elon's fault. He says things, and that's why everybody's fit to burst with rage, because he typed some words on the screen, that video there, which I can't show on YouTube, that video just below it, that didn't have any effect on you. You saw that video of the granddad getting knifed to death and you went, oh, boring. And then you read that and you went, my blood's boiling. No, it's the other way around, spamhead. It's the other way around. The reason people are angry is because they're sick of seeing these videos of people getting butchered like animals. And that's why. So sort your life out, bacon face. You haven't got a Scooby-Doo, have you? Again, here's something I want to talk about quickly. Socialist Nigel Farage wants to leave the ECHR. If you agree with him, which of these rights do you want to give up? This is so brain dead. I feel like I'm losing brain cells even talking about it. But if you think the ECHR gave you all of that stuff that was in place long before the EU ever existed, it's got freedom from slavery in there. Hang on, who did that first? The British or the EU, which didn't exist when slavery was commonplace in the Western world? Who invented that? Freedom from slavery. I think you'll find we banned that 230 years before the EU ever existed. So if you think the ECHR is a good idea, you're brain dead and you don't pay attention. Oh shit, I forgot. Two things, right? First of all, I forgot I told Sue she could come on again. And second of all, I forgot I told my missus I'd take her for lunch, so I can't talk to her for long, and I can't do a long stream, but I'll make up for it by seeing if I can get her on quick, and we'll have a brief chat before I piss off. There it is. It's unbelievable. James O'Spamhead really wants to sort his life out. I can't believe the bollocks. The bollocks that the talking heads come out with. It's unbelievable. You just have to turn Twitter on and you're just deluged with it. Look, I'm glad to have voted to stop Farage's plans to undermine our human rights. We didn't get them off the European Union, you silly mare. Didn't happen. We gave them, if anything. England's been a free country since far longer than most of Europe has. I think you'll find that the Europeans had Franco and Mussolini and Adolf in charge when we had a democratically elected leader. Thanks very much. So you may find that Victoria Collins, like all the rest of these lefty MPs, is talking Shiite again. So you can shut it, fatty. Luke Charters, what does he look like? Look at the clip of him. Geggy raver. If he's not as bent as the Elephant Man's chopper, I'll eat him with a donkey. And you know he's a lefty because he's a York MP. York MP, one of the poshest, whitest, most... I mean, again, when I went home, right, on my last trip like a year ago, Borough was in ruins. It looked like Mogadishu. York wasn't. York was the same as I remembered it. York's disturbingly middle class, which is why they elect geggy, self-loathing gimps like Luke Charters MP. Put him on the list. He's going on the list. Andy Preston, I actually like him. Dying for tonight's episode of Celebrity Traitors. That sounds like a good show. I think we'll get rid of the host, but keep that show for when Bootneck's in charge, because there's loads of celebrity traitors. Andy Preston's not one of them, though. I actually quite like him. There's another one. There's a celebrity traitor. We stopped Nigel Farage's plan. Tear up people's rights. We haven't got any rights, Ed. He's trying to get us some back. You arrest 12,500 people a year for tweets and jokes, Ed. You horrible. Again, first contestant on Celebrity Traitors, Ed Davey. Mothin Ali, a memorable night ruined by a thug. No, Mothin. You're an Islamo-communist. As soon as you seize power, all the people you entered into an unholy alliance with will be getting the good news off a car park roof. Do you think we're stupid? The people you enter into an alliance with might be daft enough to swallow it, but nobody in the general public is. It's just the political class who are thick enough. Dawn Butler, racist, racist. All you get on Twitter, I thought this lot were pissing off to blue sky. All you get on X now is racist, racist, racist. I voted against this, racist. Putin's killed more people than any other human. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. I feel like communism's probably killed more people this century than any other ideology, though. Why'd you wear a poppy? You know what? I'm not even that bothered this year. I got brainwashed into always wearing one all the time as a bootneck. I'm not even bothered now. I'm sure the RBL at this point are giving money to the Taliban. Probably like, oh, all soldiers' lives matter. Let's buy Akbar Jabari a wooden leg. But Anthony Ormerod, yeah, he could figure it out on his own. He only got blew up fighting for his country. What constituency does this serve? What, the morning after pill? Free of charge. Yeah, again, right, I'm going to call it early because Sue's not here and I told my missus I would. This is what we're living in, a world of complete topsy-turvy values. They're talking about oysters and the morning after pill as foreign men get shipped in by the government and kill your wives and your children and your grandparents. This is where we're at. Oh, quick, let's talk about the morning after pill. Okay, I don't think that's that important, to be honest. I think if I just watched my grandpa get his Gregory Peck slit by a Taliban fighter who 3 years ago was shaking an AK-47 in the middle of the desert, I don't think that's a good idea. So I don't think we need to worry about the morning after pill or oysters. Thanks very much. Slim Yin said Glasgow sends its love to all. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Yeah, so the short version is, ladies and gentlemen, the world continues to go completely mad. I hope you're paying attention. I hope you've been on prepper.co.uk and tooled yourself up and got some MREs and you've got a first aid kit in your house and you've put brand new sturdy locks on all your doors and you're preparing for the worst, because 2026 is going to be worse than 2025 on account of the fact between now and New Year's Eve, another 10,000 unvetted foreign fighters are going to have entered England. So be on your toes, tool yourselves up and prepare for the worst, because it's all downhill from here. All right? Easy. Other than that, got to laugh, haven't you? It is funny. In a dark, grim way, it is funny, because the people that run Europe are completely off their tits, and that is funny. That is funny. They really are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, these absolute lunatics. Right, I'm going to go and do something fun. I will be back tomorrow, and we'll talk at length then. All right, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the super chats. Check out my last video if you haven't already, because I just put that up. In fact, I'll put a link in the studio. I'll put a link in because the wankers that run this platform often shadow ban my content. We all know that. How come I get like 1,000 people on a live stream, but my content gets worse numbers than people with a tenth of the followers? I don't fully understand that. I figure there's some shenanigans going on. Anyway, there's today's video. Go and watch it if you haven't already. And I'll see you all tomorrow. All right? Toodle pip. Cheers.